Beloved, I want to share with you the message that God gave me through a dream on Saturday, August 5th, 2017. Many brothers were shown to me in this dream. I know they were Adventists because they showed me that they were. They were in a mega church. They all sang and did everything from the pulpit they were instructed to do. But for some reason, I could see that their heart was not there. So I began to look for who was doing it from the heart. And I could not see in all that megachurch a soul that was truly faithful to the mission of God. At that moment, they took me to another church, and of all of them, only 4 were half converted, and 2 were crying because of their terrible condition in which they felt. Then I was shown a place where many Adventists were half worried, and my companion told me, "It is not enough." At that moment, I saw all of their hands on fire, and they all shouted. Then at that moment, several people appeared with jugs of water, and they threw them on their hands, and they began to go out. But their hands were black, scorched, and with a lot of pain. Then I saw that they understood and knew why, and they began to cry bitterly. But only some of them received complete healing by putting their hands in a crystal vessel that was also taken to them, and this vessel had oil in it. At first, it hurt them when they put their hands in the oil. I could see it on their faces, but then the pain subsided, and when they were taken out of there, their hands were completely healed. I was happy about that, but most of them were consumed in their misery. They saw their hands burned, and they just started to cry. Then at that moment, beloved ones, the panorama changed, and I was taken to see a convention of Adventist pastors. I could see that they were all Adventist pastors because they all wore a shirt with the logo of our church and said "Pastor." This is how everyone was there, with these shirts, with these logos, but they were also dressed at the same time as if it were gala. They were eating, and they were truly rejoicing for their good life that they had. They were all happy. They were sitting at a large table. I could listen to them because I was very close to them, where they rejoiced in their earthly goods and in the victories they had had on this earth. So while I watched them toast everyone at that great table, my companion told me that it is clear, and their sentence is cast. When this was said, I got so sad and started to cry, but at that moment I could appreciate that their hands lit up like the first group of brothers I saw. So many ran to them with jugs of water to put out the fire, but the water that they had poured, it seemed that it had the effect of gasoline. It lit up more. The fire grew more enlivened in them. Then they screamed in horror, and the scene of laughter and toast that they had was transformed into horror. No one who was there could free them until I saw them fall to the ground and they all stopped breathing. Then my companion looked at me, and I at him. We began to cry, and we retired from that horrible and sad scene. Then I heard a voice that told me, "Go ahead, don't stop, tell them, because the punishment is imminent because of their transgression. They judged and perverted the law, and they didn't recognize the truth. That is why in their hands they carry curse and death." He continued saying, follow the Lord, and do not touch my world." Can a blind man lead another blind man? Will there be peace for the house of Israel? He asked. Then he himself answered and said, "My scribe will know it." and my measure will assure it. Then he said, as the Holy One of Israel lives, no one who falsifies the right will inherit eternal life. They have scattered, but now I gather mine. I have been knocking at the door, but very few have paid attention to me. He kept saying, will my patience have no end, and my grace will not end? Will my term not be enforced, and each one will receive their just pay? He asked, tell the princess of Israel that I have seen it and that I do not change. At that moment, beloved, I woke up with a sadness in my heart to know and to understand why many things are happening. May God grant that we can all understand and we can realize the terrible condition in which we are before our God. God bless you.